Darth Vader's empire. This is the Russian Empire, Kos and Happy and all those guys. So if you guys wanna follow, feel free. On Twitter as well. If you guys are enjoying the cast, I will be doing NSL every single night that it is on. So again, I don't know how many. Like, this is kind of one of those opportunities I'm going to be doing bilingual because Ender is not around today. Usually he would be, I guess, the guy that would be doing the English cast, but just kind of stepping in his place for the night, doing both the English and Russian. So. Alright, again, yes, Squat, you're right. I did call them out for a little bit of a terrible decision making, but again, it is in-game. It's a lot different than actually sitting from the casting desk. It's just kind of one of those things I was hoping is they would do a little bit better, maybe react a tiny bit better. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, starting over here at the top right side of Shakura's. Oh my, why are we playing on this map? So, starting on the top right of Shakura's, we got for Spider, the Spider.Comm with a beautiful last game, and taking that win to even the series up 1-1. His opponent down at the bottom left side for Invictus Gaming, it is going to be XY, the Blue Terran. Going to take his own shot to be able to move on into the winners bracket. Again, this is the rubber match game number 3. Winner will play against Jim from Team Tyloo. He is going to be playing against Jim, so potential either ZVP or potential TVP. We will see as the series goes on. Again, the format for those that are wondering, this is GSL format. 4-player group. Our group is We Love CD, Invictus Gaming's XY, Spider.Comm, and Tyloo's Jim. So there is our 4-player group. As we see, 2 forward barracks right now, 11-12. This is very, very going to be a very aggressive game from XY, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys are any bit familiar as I am with 2-Rex, this actually is very dangerous on this type of map, and this is kind of one of these reasons why a lot of Zergs hate this map, because you could actually do a complete wall-off with the bunkers at the natural ramp. So we're going to see how well actually Comm scouts this out and sees this, because right now he's just Overlord scouting. He actually has no drones in the vicinity, and that's actually devastating because he's not going to be able to mentally prepare himself, and maybe he might misinvest. Instead of more additional units, he's actually going to invest more into his economy versus actually defenses. So, and as we see, double checking right now, one of the SCVs going forward, going to see right away that, hey, no hatch down at the bottom right side of the map. And he's going to head right over to the top right again. That kind of would be a little bit funny if Comp was doing some sort of one base, maybe 10 pool or something like that. And XY just walks by that, sees like no natural hatch. But fortunately for him, there we go, he sees it. And drone kind of sitting in a good position, already pulling a lot of the drones, about half of them. Don't know if that's going to be enough to hold this off, but here we go. The 8lings are in production, so has enough larvae he's saved up to be able to potentially hold this off. A lot of units are coming across the map. Unfortunately, because I'm not an observer, I can't tell how many of what he's brought actually a lot of SCVs, so huge investment coming down right now from XY on this attack. Beautiful micro though by Comm, doing a wonderful job in surrounding these 2 Marines, and that's going to hurt so bad because now there's additional links coming to reinforce, and they're going to be able to not only kill these reinforcing Marines, but all these the bunker. They're going to be able to reinforce a lot of the... Oh my god, I'm stuttering, guys. I'm losing it. They're going to be able to take out the Marines. They're going to be able to take out the SCVs, and that's actually going to end the game for XY for the most part. If he can't do any damage with this push, it's going to be basically game over for him because he's pulled so many SCVs off his line. It's a huge economic investment, and now by sitting on 2 hatches, the Zerg is going to be able to transition into maybe a 2-base bailing attack, either grab a quick 3rd or just do something. At this point, really, XY is in a tricky and tough position. Either he pulls and goes all in, or he needs to expand right now. He cannot sit around and hope for some sort of miracle to happen. But again, he might have a little bit of an opportunity. Comm does have to be aware of how many Marines and SCVs are out on the map. Just defensively, might want to put up a couple of spine crawlers just in case for defenses, but still, great job by Comm. Beautiful hold, great micro. I loved it. I love every little part of that. That was awesome. As a Terran player myself, there's been so many times where I've gotten just so many easy wins because of missed micro situations. Comm doing a wonderful job, doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Yeah. Yes, for those again wondering, kind of as we see some of these Marines kind of coming up into the natural, for those who don't know who Comm is, he is a Zerg player, of course, as we see, for Team iG Spider, former Counter-Strike pro gamer, and this is what I was talking about, needing the 2 spines. I will continue with the thought, but as we see, trying to surround him, beautiful surround right there. Queen's going to help out as well, and all these Marines get picked off. Oh my god, Comm is playing lights out, ladies and gentlemen, just everything working in his favor. So, iG Spider's Comm, he is a former Counter-Strike pro gamer, left Invictus Gaming in June, which is kind of interesting because right after that he played in the WCS China, was the champion, blew out everybody, went 5-0, beat all 5 of his opponents. Then moves on to WCS Asia. He loses to Roro and Curious, which is not that bad because Roro is one of the top upcoming Zergs in Kespa, if not already one of the top Zergs at Kespa, as we saw him play really well in GSL. Many of his Kespa matches also lost to Curious, but again, we know Curious, again, very, very strong Zerg player himself. Was able to beat SKTB and Revenant, which don't kind of ring a bell on my part, but still did a wonderful job. Because he was the WCS China champion, he got his seed into WCS BlizzCon, and again, he did lose 1-2 to Suppy and 0-2 to Vortex, but we were able to finally see one of these top players from China come over and play, so very interesting to watch. These are one of these guys you have to watch out for. Basically at this point, the top 3 players that I know of in China right now is iG.XY, for Invictus Gaming. Invictus Gaming, Max said is said to be one of the top Chinese players as well, and Spider.Comm. So just kind of things to note. Kind of things to note. On the other end, for XY, of course, Terran player for Invictus Gaming. He is a former Brood War player. Didn't exactly get a rank on him. Wasn't sure if he was B+, A, something of that nature, not sure. He played in WCS, was able to beat Turbo, Pigeon, F91, one of the top players in China, but then eventually did lose to Top and lost to Maxset as well, and then eventually in the losers bracket lost to Tutming. Oh, no, wait. He lost to Top. He lost to OGS Top, well, former OGS Top. Lost to Top, beat Max said, lost to Tudming. So that's about as much of a player history I do have from him. Now, as we watch XY actually doing a wonderful job over here, before this hatch able to finish up, going to be able to hit this with a nice marine pressure. There's actually no defense. There's going to be not enough defenses here. What Comm's going to do, I mean, what XY's going to do, he's actually just going to sacrifice all these marines to DPS this hatch down, and just barely by a couple seconds, just not enough time for all these speedlings to get over, and not even speed. I mean, these guys are slow links trying to get on over. So good work by XY, keeping himself into the game, and that actually does hurt by losing that third hatch. But now what Com's going to do, basically what he's done the past 2 games, going to follow up with a counterattack of Ling Bane, as well as also getting the Spire out as well. So very interesting play by Com. So yeah. Sorry, just trying to figure out exactly what's going on, trying to make sure I got all my notes written down correctly. Yeah, and I mean, guys, this is part of scouting. So again, Com was not holding the tower, so he didn't see those Marines heading across the map, and that type of stuff. Just that's why you lose hatches. And again, this is when the Zerg invests a lot in his economy. He doesn't have defenses particularly ready in position as well. Again, Com is still in a good position, getting up a macro hatch. He's got a Spire up, so he's going to be on this 2-base Ling Bane attack, which could do a little bit of damage, but he's got to be very careful because, of course, Terrans with stim and upgrades as well. Very easy to tackle mutants, but again, when a Ling Bane composition of greater quantity comes out, it does become a little bit hard for a Terran player. Now, don't know much else about these players exactly, and again, the problem behind that is, and why, is you don't really see these players really on the public stage. You don't see them at a lot of international tournaments such as DreamHack, MLG, NSL, GSL. I mean, you name the tournament, you don't see these guys. Usually you see them in the G League, you see them in the NSL, and maybe in one of these Southeast Asia. It's called the Star War. It's called the Star Wars. Basically, it's Star War tournament, and that's the most places you see them. Recently, I mean, the only player, of course, Spider.Comm, but the other one, iG.XY, was at IPL 5, and after that, I mean, Sen. And I mean, take your guess, take your shot at who you can find else from that region that you've really seen beforehand. So, kind of those little things to note. DPS is damage per second, for those who don't know. Damage per second. So, of course, with Stim, the DPS damage per second is increased because the firing rate by the Marines' guns do increase. Some of the basic simple breakdown of that's a big simple breakdown of StarCraft right there, man. Talking about simplicity of breaking down stuff. There you have it. Yeah, I mean, the game is just becoming really, really hard for XY to continue to hold off. Again, he's lost several SCVs. The Muta count's increasing. The 1-1's finishing up. And there we see it. Muta 1 attack, so air attack and 1 for Zerg. 1-1's finishing up on the ground and bailing speed as well. So what really Comm is hoping for, he wants to end this game right now, but he can't exactly just purely push in there because there are barracks and starports. These guys are big buildings, and this is what right now Comm wants. He needs to get Bailings up right now on his side of the map. Maybe you delay the push just a tiny bit from XY, but catch him out in the middle of the map while they're only while he's out on the map, because if he was behind the fortification, there's no real way that XY could break through. But if in fact he's able to catch him in the middle of the map with Ling, Bane, Speedling, 1-1 upgrades, and I mean that's just going to be completely hard, as we see it all the time on maps like Antigua. Just anytime you really see a Zerg kind of crippled down, focused down to a 3-base play, they usually end up playing this Lenok-esque style. Oh, beautiful catch right there of the medevac. They usually end up playing this beautiful Lenok-esque style where they just go Ling, Bane, Muta just off of a couple bases, off of 3 bases, and just hit this really nice timing push because they know that a 4th base is going to be very hard for them to grab. So yeah, no bueno right now for XY. I mean, the game's kind of slipping a little bit more and more out of hand, just kind of like the the second game that we saw today. Already 4th hatch up for Comm. He's 2-2s about halfway done all across the board, and I mean, just anytime really XY decides to push out, that's pretty much going to be the death of him, because right now a lot of lings out in the middle of the map. Mutas are still floating around, and they're going to be a big help against the big army that the Terran does have himself. Almost actually completely maxed out, as we see the supply 191 to 136. So I'm shocked though that I don't see any banelings though from Comm. I don't understand the concept behind that. Again, sometimes we do see a lot of Zergs these days test out the waters with just mass Ling builds, but again, it does help out when you have banelings, especially when you could get nice splashes off on marine groups such as these. It could really make the battle a lot easier for them, for the Zerg players. All right. Yeah, we got a bunch of English. Shout outs to all the English teachers in chat. You guys are awesome, teaching people verbs and nouns and stuff related to StarCraft too. It's the best way to learn, man. StarCraft related stuff. And there we go. 50 Banes under production. 2-2s finishing up. And I think this is when we're going to see that big push. Good little Bonjo, little micro right there. I mean, not Bonjo, sorry, J-Dong. J-Dong, Muta micro right there, doing a wonderful job. I say Bonjo, Jesus Christ. I don't know where the hell that came from. 2 more additional tanks getting taken out. They're going to help out. That's going to help out against the Banelings and Lings. Yeah. I mean, guys, you guys watch StarCraft, and you know this is one of those situations where it's just going to be very hard for XY to win. I don't know why he had that 3rd engineering bay building. He actually saved himself minerals by canceling that. That actually was a useless eBay that he was building. Now, what's going to happen right here, guys, is the 3rd base is out. He's going to have to move all of his defenses to be able to defend this 3rd base. And when that happens, you look at that. There is 2 big groups right now out on the map of Lings and Banelings, and they're going to roll right on in and be able to take that out right away. So, yeah. Triple upgrades are underrated, yo. Yeah, but here we go. Lings and Banelings kind of rolling on in. Still tanks on the high ground, so he's got to be very careful how he micros through. He's actually just going to send the Banelings right on through. Got to be careful. There we go. There's still a lot of SCVs here. If he's able to take those out. Oh, beautiful job. Takes almost a complete portion of the whole SCV pack right on out. As we see, 41 total workers lost by XY. But the thing is, he is still trying to get his 3rd base up by 19 minutes, almost 20 minutes. And that's going to literally, ladies and gentlemen, spell GG out for Comm. There's going to be no way he could really recover from this, especially on the economic standpoint of the game. And, I mean, this is just very similar to last game, as we see 5th hatch getting taken. Healthy mineral account, mining off 4 gas, going to be 5 gas soon, and he's going to be able to go up to Hive, get all of his units, his Hive Tech units, and eventually just kind of do that death march again. So I'm going to kind of transition in a little bit of Russian, so don't freak out. Still love you guys. But, yeah, looking to be another 2-0 for Comm potentially if kind of a couple miracles don't happen for XY really soon. Ну вот сейчас, ребята, почти конца игра. Ком просто так отлично играет. Выдержал два барака агрессии в начале игры. Потом хорошо поймал это following push, это собак, с маринов. Это попробовал это вовремя пройти пуш. Хач у него вовремя забрал. Третьего хач попробовал забрать, но вовремя просто XY мог отбивать ее и убить. Ну, вот проблема в чем, что просто экономию ком сначала две игры подряд, это лучше, чем у него. Хороший выбор на такую карту в мутах пойти. Сейчас и бэки, он снайпит их, это уберет от игру, значит апгрейды задерживать для терна игрока. Уже два атака для мутах и для воздушной композиции у Зерга, значит, когда брудов тоже у него будет, у них уже будет двухатаковые брудлинги. Брудлинги, видно, уже у него два атака для мили, у него тоже третья атака сейчас подготовится. Ну просто, я не знаю, это как правильно сказать, это просто громаднейшая польза сейчас для ком. Трипл апгрейд берет, воздушные защиты, третья атака, рейндж атака для Зерга. Аж так неинтересная игра, что Минимайз они отошли от игры сами, это бедные. Вот сейчас Беннинги катается внутри, всех вот этих танков отбивает, вся экономия вот здесь на третьей локации будет фокусить. Пробует сплит сейчас вот этих маринов, и, конечно, муты прилетают в конце концов, это помогает. Но проблема, причем он уже столько потерял его экономии. Зерк сидит на 5 базов, 5 газов. Сейчас у него хай юнитов, он может это добавить. Только сейчас Каверн ультралийский начал, но уже на карте готовится 90 с чем-то собак, это добавляет. Плюс уже будет 3 атака и 3 защиты для них тоже. Это значит просто очень... Две игры подряд не получается очень много для ком. Просто играет отлично, отлично, отлично. Хач, локации, хач, базы, ладно, здания, все, что есть. Я про вот этих игроков чуть-чуть это поговорил. Конечно, наш терный игрок XY за Invictus Gaming, он бывший Brood War игрок. В WCS он последний раз играл, он победил Turbo, Pigeon, F91. Проиграл Топ, корейский игрок, победил Maxed, но в конце концов это проиграл Tudming. На той стороне Y Spiders это Ком, какого зеркала мы сейчас видим. Бывший профессиональный киберспортсмен Counter-Strike ушел от Invictus Gaming в июнь. Был WCS чемпион в Китае. Потом, когда в WCS Азии играл, он проиграл Крору Кирис, победил SKTB. Revenant тоже победил. И потом мы его только недавно видели в WCS Blizz чемпионат. Он проиграл 1-2 к SAPI, потом 0-2 к Vortex. Ну, я просто такие статистики даю, потому что, правда, вот эта игра уже закончена. Для XY Зерга у него просто такая сейчас, эта комбинация юнитов столько сейчас вот закруживает. Это хороший фланк, хорошая атака. Закружит всего... 3-3 апгрейды заканчиваются прямо сейчас. Ну, просто сначала теряют всю экономию. Еще бейнов еще осталось. Сплэш. На вот этих КСМах мог быть совсем игру закончить.